Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. In the last episode, we faced off against the roots of corruption taking over the once enchanted mystical forest that was the Spellbound Woods, clearing out the dark mess sucking the literal life out of the forest, while also returning the once vibrant colors back to the world of Palette Prime. The only thing is, with the forest now saved, it's time to figure out what kind of horrible mess the Rabbid village is in due to Cursa's corruption, seemingly being smack dab in the middle of their once peaceful town. So with that being said, we have definitely got some work cut out for us. And honestly, the name The Fallen King definitely doesn't make things much less terrifying when it comes to what could possibly be going on in there. Because that's definitely a name and a half, let's be honest there. But let's definitely check up on Woodrow before we go in there. Forest saved, town lost. Nightmares like honeysuckle can waffles dream. Truly I am a fish. Okay.
Translation. He's grateful that the forest is back to normal, but is deeply concerned about the village.
That definitely sounds about right. We'll see you later, Woodrow. You make no sense to us, but apparently Genie can understand you. Still don't understand that one, but, well, you do you, I guess. Well, only one thing we could possibly do, and that's by going through Woodrow's house here, because apparently there's a secret hatch that leads to the village from inside Woodrow's home. Which, honestly, who knows where that could possibly be, but we do definitely have ourselves a whole new enemy type here. Because the thing is we've seen depleters, we've seen the... I forgot what they were called. Spell Raisers, I think they were called. We've seen the Squashettes, and we've also seen Ghostly Walkers, but these guys are new too. Bridge to Fear, and these are the Medicians. Okay. So I was wondering when we were going to see one of these guys, just because we haven't seen them yet. So I'm guessing healers of some sorts. Oh, hello. Who are you, buddy? You're very sparkly. His name's Glitter. Look out for these Medicians. They can heal their allies and put up team barriers to protect them. Okay, so like the hoppers where they can do the team barriers, but apparently to other things. And then as well as healers, which the supporters. Okay, cool. Huh. Okay, so what else do? They even have a super shock effect that spreads from its original target to other heroes nearby. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting, in fact. But when we used the super effect for shock, we never got any special, like, where it spread to other enemies, but apparently that's a thing. What's your motivation, you ask? Me? If you win, I get to ride your coattails out of here. I guess that's fair. But it just says defeat the Medicians then, so everything else doesn't really matter on the map. But let's be honest here, we definitely are going to need to deal with a good chunk of them in the first place. But what's going on with these Medician enemies other than that? Keeps her distance from enemies during battle, preferring instead to heal and offer protection to allies as needed. 510 damage though, so they still do damage. 20% heal though. Okay, that's not too bad. And then protect, it looks like it's only one attack, so one of the divine boosts that Princess Peach can give us. Okay, so it's not too bad. And they're weak to ooze. Interesting. Very, very interesting. That's the first real enemy that's, other than the original Squasher, was weak to ooze. So, interesting. Well, I think we're definitely ready. So, let's definitely prepare. Obviously, definitely going turbocharge here. There's no reason not to. So, let's definitely set up with that. Honestly, from here, I think we just start up with Edge here, I think, and just see what we could do with this jump here. We could definitely do quite a decent amount, I would think. We could definitely get to the first Medician pretty easily, but I think first things first is getting everybody nice and ready for whatever they need to do in the near future. So let's definitely prepare everybody first. It would be kind of funny if you could jump on top of Goomba's heads when you land without it counting as a stomp, like Mario. But I think we definitely set up Vamp Dash now. 773 damage, I think is what that just said. Which is a huge amount of damage. I definitely like that. let's definitely get one of those in. I think we can leave the rest of his HP left, I think. Because Edge might want to start preparing for the other side of the map. Only thing is how do we get over there is the real question. Because there's a couple options here. It looks like we could take maybe a couple of these jump boosts right to where we want to be. And also, there's also one over here as well, so there's one on both sides of us. Okay, interesting. Well, if we want to get over there, first things first is maybe another dash, because then I could take another team jump, which actually may not be too bad. Yeah, let's definitely dash you on out of here, I think. And then I'm going to see what we could do with these little jump panels here, because I think I might be able to just make it to right where we want to be, if I do it right. May not be exact, but we could definitely get pretty close. But I think maybe doing a regular, like, just in general team jump might have done me a little bit better there. But the thing is we still have the team jump available, if we need it. But I'm definitely going to say, let's do Rabbid Peach's dash there, I think. Just in case, because you never know. It might end up being the better of the two. And then I think, based on our current position, it looks like we can make it to Edge. So let's definitely take that into account and see how far we could really go with this. Because as long as we can get Edge to about where the other Magician is, I feel pretty okay with our turn here. Because the thing is being able to get rid of two of them in one turn is definitely pretty good for us. But down goes your HP. And let's see here. A couple options here. But first things first is figuring out how we deal with the enemy. And we can't really get Rabbid Rosalina over there either. But we definitely can maybe try and do a little bit of something. If we do it right, of course. Only depends on... Well, one is more of the way of, like, damage dealing. Looks like we can burn a couple of them, but the thing is we're not really in range of doing that. Then, honestly, for... just in general, for Rabbid Peach here, it looks like there's a couple options, but it doesn't look like we can just go for the hits, which is unfortunate as well. But I do have an idea here. We do have a POW block, so I might try and go for that instead. Because the thing is we can get into range of a safety zone, as well as trying to do a decent amount of damage to a good chunk of enemies at the same time. Which I feel like we should be able to hit all of these at the same time if we do it right. It's here. Just a little bit closer. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Well, I'm definitely going for those, I think. I think that's just a safer option at that point. Other than that, Rabbid Peach really can't get close enough to these enemies. So I'm gonna guess just get rid of the front Goomba there and just go with that, I think. Because they have to walk around the entire little path there to even get to Rabbid Peach. But the thing is I feel like those Goombas are definitely gonna reach us. Ow. Jeez. You can hit pretty far. But yeah, that's definitely shock, that's for sure. We've used it before with Electro Dash until we swapped over to Vamp Dash, because the reason why we did that mostly is because of the fact that, well, to be honest, when it comes to it, if you really think about it, Vamp Dash doesn't have anything that it's weak to specifically. So it's always going to do the same amount of damage. So you don't have to really worry about it having any weaknesses or anything like that. So you can kind of work with it and use it as a bonus if you really try and use it that way. So honestly, that's the reason why I've been using Vamp Dash, because I feel like it just... there's no reason not to use it. Because we get rid of a lot of the weaknesses we possibly could have. But first things first is figuring out how Edge wants to get out of here. Because we have a couple options here. But the thing is the furthest Rabbid Peach can go to help Edge is not very far. And Rabbid Peach really... well, Rabbid Peach can get to Rosalina, kinda. So I guess she's fine. But Edge is definitely gonna need a idea boost on where she wants to go. It looks like we might be able to make it to the jump panel, though, if we do it this way. So as long as we fall correctly, we should be pretty good. Only thing is now we got a portal with something in it that we have no clue what's going to end up spawning. But let's definitely take another one of those little jump boosts here. Hopefully, looks like I can get all the Goombas good. Only thing is obviously it's going to do no damage. But I definitely say let's go Ethereal first. Just to figure out if we... Nope, we didn't get any extra boost for Sparks. But we can take the extra time here to get rid of all these Goombas. And thankfully, because they're all flipped over, we can technically go like this if we need to. So let's definitely try and get these guys out while we're at it. Might as well. Okay, not bad. Not bad, not bad. Now we just need to figure out what to do with the rest of these enemies here. I could put them all to sleep. That could be an option. Which I don't mind that option, honestly. Keeping them in place might be really good. Because it is basically 4 enemies. But let's be honest here, the Goombas do stack up in damage if you let them. But that's not too bad. That's definitely pretty good for us. Although, we do need to figure out a way to get Rabbid Peach, which we just found it perfect. I was a little worried there for a second. So that's really good to see. So there we go. Now we can take a team jump. And maybe, just maybe, help out good old Edge a little bit. While also being somewhat in range of doing just a little bit of damage that we need. Not bad. Not bad at all. And then I think we leave the Goombas alone, I think, for a little bit. Because all we really need to do now... Well, we can go for the Kaboomer first. So let's definitely try that. Leave the other enemies alone for now. Because all we're really needing to do is focus on Mr. Medician here. Because let's be honest, 3 of them down, map cleared, and we get to head right into town after doing so. And honestly, with everything going on in the town, we definitely should help out those Rabbids very soon if we want to give them any kind of a saving grace when it comes to what's going on right now for them. But there we go. And now we just need to find the secret passage inside this house. Also, what's this glitter spark do, to be honest? I'm quite curious. Just because it is a whole new spark. So glitter, gather round. Enemies within range are pulled towards the hero's position. Increases weapon-based attacks by 10%. That's not too bad. Okay. So basically, Rabbid Mario and Donkey Kong's Magnet Pull is the base ability, while also giving us, obviously, increased weapon damage over the course of, obviously, leveling it by 5% each. That's not too bad. It's definitely not bad. Only thing is there anything else hidden here that we should look for? Because you never honestly know. So let's take a nice look around with the scan. There is indeed something here, so let's see where this ends up leading for us. Because it might lead to something good, you never know. It's definitely worth a check. But so far the footprints just lead to the front... No, it does not lead to the front door. It leads to a, free little dash candy. Oh, I'll take it. But let's enter the house. It looks like we could just go through the front door, and apparently wherever it is, it's in here. Okay. Well, let's do a nice scan. You never know. Looks like there is something behind the bookshelf. So I'm guessing that's more than likely his secret entrance to the town. Interesting place to put his secret entrance, because that's probably where he puts his poetry. But his house did not look too good. I'm gonna be honest there. It was definitely pretty ransacked for the most part. But it looks like we're under something now. All path to the village plaza is blocked by a chasm. Seriously, how is this shortcut at all convenient? Well, I do see some coins floating, so we definitely need to use good old scan.
Data analysis of those floating coins suggests that there may be a way to overcome the gap. Well, you do have some new powers of elucidation thanks to Twinkle, do you not?
True. Well, Darshini, of course I could use the reveal power Twinkle gave me to find a solution. Obviously I was looking for something more creative, but fine. We'll go with the old boring idea. It's not too boring. We did just get the ability recently, so it's not too bad. And then obviously it tells us to use that. I was curious what that would say. So technically you did need to go to the forest, although you could do this one directly after getting Twinkle's ability, to be fair. So interesting. I wonder what the dialogue would be if you would have picked to go here first. Because it would definitely say something different, I would think. Like, we can't go here yet, or something of the sort. Like, we probably should come back here later or something. But let's definitely grab this little crate over here, drop that right on top so, and let's go make it to our next mission here, because it looks like we've got a little bit of dark mess in between us. Blight at the end of the tunnel. Well, definitely some blight, that's for sure. But what kind of enemies are we dealing with? It looks like I see some depleters. So far, nothing too dangerous. Although these guys do hit pretty hard if you let them. But for the most part, these enemies are pretty simple. Because of the fact that, well, they're medium range and not long range. So I think we should be pretty good, I would think. And it looks like I can easily get to one of the depleters with Edge alone, based on what I could see. But obviously, first turn, always turbocharge. It is definitely a really good spark. Okay, so how do we get over there, exactly? Because it looks like there's a couple options here, if we do it right. But it looks like we're definitely going to need to take 2 of those jump panels to get where we want to be, and then try and get as much range as we possibly can afterwards. Okay, not too bad. Let's get our vamp dash in. I think trying to do a decent amount of damage out of this guy early would be good, because these guys have quite a decent amount of HP already. So getting a good chunk of it down would probably do us some good. Okay, not bad. We can kind of leave him alone for a second. Try and figure out what we want to do here. So we have a couple options here when it comes to dealing with the depleter over here. I'm going to say what we want to do, more than likely, is going to be putting this guy to sleep. Would probably be a good idea, to be completely fair. And it looks like I can definitely get 2 of them to sleep. So let's put the other depleter to sleep for a turn. I need to get the 2 cooldown sleep. I feel like that would be really good to have, if we got it. But not bad. It's definitely a good chunk of setting up already. And then what I think we can do is make our way over to the Flaming Stooge over here and put him to sleep with a dash. And then, thankfully, since he's asleep, we can start dealing with this side safely without any major problems. But first things first is making sure if we can get rid of one of these guys on our own. 50% chance from that angle. But the thing is I don't think there's any enemies in range of attacking us, other than what's currently there over on that side. So I think we can safely move into position, as long as we, have the ability to do so. But it looks like we have the 50% no matter what. So I guess we just go with the 50%. So let's just get behind the cover just in case if the other depleters do find a way over here. But I think we almost had him. He's definitely close to going down. And then I think what we can do, because I see we're perfectly in range of Rabbids Rosalina, let's make our way over here real quick and actually just dash into him and get rid of him. Because there's no reason not to, right? But there we go. Down you go. And now I say we deal with the Flaming Stooge, I think. I feel pretty confident with that option, just because of the fact that, well, he's asleep, we still have our blast in, so I think we definitely go for it. But I think we definitely go behind cover just in case, because now that I see it, that depleter is pretty close. So he could probably walk over here if he wants to. Other than that, we don't really have a free way of getting to the other guy. But I do have the multi-dashes, and we'll just eat the new cookie that we got. Might as well. See what we can do with it. It doesn't look like I can get too much closer to you. So it looks like the meter increase only works towards what we can currently get. Which is a little unfortunate. I was thinking it would be a little bit more, like, it would go based off all the dashes you do, but it looks like it's only based on the amount of dashes that you can currently do. Normally increases the amount that you can walk. Unless if I could get closer to him and see that, but not in this case. We don't have any way of getting closer. I thought we would be able to get up to him by using an extra dash there, but did not work in my favor. But we didn't have to deal with any, like, quick attacks there. He is getting ready to counter us, though, so we need to be careful there, because that's what he's charging up right now. That's that counter blow thing that Rabbid Mario can do. So definitely need to be careful. Rabbid Peach looks like she more than likely wants to jump on over. Let's maybe give Edge a little bit of an edge here, I think. I think that's definitely worth an option. Only thing is I think we're just out of range. Oh no, we're perfectly in range, actually. Okay, not too bad. Although, let's see here. Can't really do it from there. I have to let Rabbid Peach come a little bit closer. There we go. That'll definitely work. But I think if we dash into him, I don't think it really counts against us, I think. I could be wrong, but I don't think it does. Let's see. Does he counterblow me? It looks like it does not indeed do that. Okay, well that's good to see. Because I was thinking he would counterblow me. But looks like he does not get that. Interesting. Okay, well, now that we have that idea, and I think now we figure out what we want to do with these enemies. Because we have a couple options for sure. And I think the first one is probably putting the other one to sleep, I think, is my honest opinion. So Rosalina, you need to go a little bit lower. Probably about where Edge is where we're going to need to go. Just for the team jump that we need. So not bad. I'm going to probably do the extra jump just in case to make sure we go over this chasm. Because I'm a little concerned about the current position we were in. But there we go. Not bad. That one's now asleep, so we don't need to worry too much about that. I'm going to say more than likely I want regular Rabbid Peach here to do a couple dashes into this guy over here. Because the thing is because he's counter blowing, I think it's probably safer if we do go for the dashes, because then he doesn't get any kind of bonuses for, like, you know, surviving and then whacking us. So, might end up working better. Because he doesn't get it, which is good. So not too bad. No one's in range for the heal, so Rabbid... Actually, maybe. Let's see. No, it doesn't look like Rabbid Rosalina can get that heal if she moves any closer. But it was worth a check. And then I think definitely make our way over here with Edge. So now we have two allies over here. So if we don't do enough damage with Rosalina, I think we definitely knock out this depleter with Edge here, with a flying blade. So let's see here. Basically almost went down. It is a 100% chance of critting though, to be fair. But down goes the depleters, and down goes pretty much our next level here. We just need one more. And, oh, it's that. I thought we got rid of you. Oh no, we didn't. Now I remember. We kind of left you. We put you to sleep. Now I remember. I forgot about you. Well, he'll make his way over here in due time, to be fair. We got the more out-of-the-way ones. And now this guy's kind of trapped, because the portals are going to spawn enemies over here. But the thing is, although they are spawning, well, let's be honest here. Oh, now, never mind. Never mind, he's got some allies coming his way. Okay, well, we can still work with this. We can definitely still work with this. Thing is how do we want to do it, and how... It looks like definitely going off of these guys, I think, for sure. Hopefully I can get just enough range, though. Barely. Oof. That jump really was close, I'm gonna be honest. Definitely really close. Rabbid Rosalina, I think, can probably make that on her own. But still, though, just in case, I need to be very careful with this jump if we want to make that. Because I almost fell out of bounds, to be completely fair there. So hopefully we can take this and use it just like we did with Edge there. Barely. That doesn't even look like it's inside the circle anymore, but okay. I don't know how, but that counts, I guess. That definitely counts. Okay, so first things first, obviously let Edge jump on Rosalina. Because we could get the movement back to give Rosalina the extra movement that she needs to get to this depleter. But so far, probably should have set up Vamp Dash to begin with, but it probably won't really matter in this case, because Rosalina's already over here and pretty much already. And then honestly, we could just go for the knockout. But let's go with the safe option just in case. Just because, well, let's give Rosalina the knockout anyways. She needs a little bit of a battle clear. But there we go. Not bad. Blight at the end of the Dark Mess is now complete. And almost level 22. Which is pretty good. Because we need level 21 for our Sparks to be able to be upgraded again. And having the extra crit and the extra damage and stuff like that from, well, the fact that some of the Sparks give us crits, or Vamp Dash being increased to an even higher amount of damage definitely would be pretty good. But definitely, with the fact that if we can upgrade the Scream again by one more, we can actually take some points off of Rosalina. Also, I found out how this works. You need to really spin it. I thought you only had to spin it, like, very little, but that's all you gotta do. You just gotta spin a little bit, and then the game will obviously spin around. I thought I was doing that completely wrong, to be honest. But apparently, what I was doing wrong was that, well, I wasn't spinning it fast enough when I did try to do it in the last one, so now we know how that works. And then I thought I saw another box while we were walking over here earlier with the little thing. Although, how do we get it down there? Oh, well, for some reason, it didn't look like it wanted to go down there for a second, but I think it's just because you can't drop it directly on the button. Okay, there we go. Push that there. And another puzzle done. Or at least it seems like we're done with another puzzle. Just because there could be another part to it over here. Nope, it looks like we're might be getting out of here, actually. Climb up the ladder. And yep, we're definitely getting out of here very soon. Take a look over here just in case. Never know. Could be something invisible. But outside of good old chasm of underneath Woodrow's house and into the town, Paletteville's main plazas. So this is apparently called Palettville. Nice little town. Although it's being completely destroyed by Dark Mess at the current moments. And it looks like there's a green coin challenge over there. Although I don't see any way to get over there at the current moment. What's going on with you, buddy? Please save us. That tentacle puts all future apple pressings in Palettville at grave risk. Any kind of missions open up? I'm curious. Doesn't show the green coin one, but nothing really opened up yet. Well, good to check, just in case, because you never know. But I think we just head right into town then. Here we go. Palettville, main plaza, here we come. Welp, I think we now know why this chapter is called The Fallen King, because poor Bowser's here. And it looks like he's facing off with another one of the Spark Hunters, so we were right on there being another one here. So it looks like whatever that one is, I'm pretty sure that's the one I mistaken for the giant wild claw in the first world. Unless I'm wrong, but I really do think that's probably what I mistaken the wild claw for being. So the Wild Claw wasn't one, although you technically could say because it was a boss. But still, though, that was definitely not a weak-looking Spark Hunter, that's for sure. But let's see what's going on with Edge here, because Edge definitely recognized that person, and that person definitely recognized Edge, just like with Midnight.
That brown fella a friend of yours?
Kinda.
We could ask you the same about that stone-faced but oddly attractive woman.
Rabbid Mario.
Spark Hunter named Bedrock. She's no friend of mine.
So Bedrock. Interesting. Well, Bedrock definitely looks pretty strong. That's for sure.
Bowser's no friend of ours either. There's a lot of kidnapping of Princess Peach. Still, we can't leave him to the darkness, can we?
Not really. It is definitely not a good idea to let Bowser demise inside here, let's be fair. Because Bowser sometimes is a help to the Mushroom Kingdom in his own odd way. And honestly, sometimes he is a good guy, let's be fair. So, technically, would not be good to leave him to his own devices down there. Because, let's be honest here, he has his moments. But blast through the Bedrock, here we go. And it looks like we're definitely getting into our next Dark Mess Tentacle mission, so technically we're completing the world here.
For all his strength, even the mighty Bowser is helpless. In the Dark Mess dimension, without a spark-powered weapon.
Well, that's not good. And with Bowser being strong, he definitely probably isn't having a good time with that. Also, I just noticed something. There's ring ropes like this is like a wrestling match. That's actually pretty funny. Because she is technically wearing wrestling attire. And she did do a wrestling taunt there. Huh. That's interesting. So Bedrock is wrestling themed. Interesting.
We do have a weapon we can spare. It was designed for Rabbid Mario, but proved too heavy for him to wield effectively.
Another weapon for Rabbid Mario?
Not true. It chafed my skin.
Okay, here we go. Defeat Bedrock. And it looks like Bowser is definitely packing heat now when it comes to the fact that that spark weapon that Rabbid Mario originally had is pretty terrifying. I'm surprised Rabbid Mario was even able to even pick that thing up based on how big it is. But let's see what's going on here.
Bedrock is too strong for all attacks to cause much damage. Try luring her onto those explosive traps first.
Explosive traps, you say? Okay, we can definitely try that. Looks like Bowser doesn't have a spark. Based on... Yep, he definitely doesn't have one. So we should probably give him something. I'm gonna say probably glitter would be a good idea. Just based on the fact that we need to lure. I think that's probably definitely one that we should give Bowser. Although other than that, good question on what we should give him. I think maybe the extra HP could be probably good. From good old Rabbid Mario. So let's definitely feed up this star a little bit. Because, let's be honest here, we might need the extra boost here for Bowser. And also we have 4 allies again. That's pretty nice to see. I wish that was, like, a thing where, like, it happened all the time. But sadly it doesn't. But it seems like it's only when we have a new person joining us on the battlefield where we get 4. But, based on the extra boxes, it seems like you could technically have 6. Based on, you know, Rabbid Rosalina having 2 empty slots next to her. But, definitely interesting, though. But I think we're definitely probably good with that. And Bowser has 3,000 HP because of that Regenesis one that we have. So not bad. We should probably heal Rosalina, though, just in case. Because you never honestly know. But let's see what's going on with Bedrock here first, before we do go straight into this. Resistant against burn. So good to know about that. So we should probably take off the Pyrogeddon and swap it out with the Electrogeddon instead. But let's see here. Incredibly strong, viciously stomps opponents, and then leaps out of reach. When hit, becomes enraged, and will pursue her assailants, rushing headlong into whatever lay in her path. Okay. And then Aftershock. Enemies' assault is triggered an immediate stomp attack that causes area damage. Okay. So Solo Stomp does 1,000 damage. And then Cover Crasher, while moving voluntarily, obliterates destructible block-shaped cover upon colliding with it. Okay then, that's kind of terrifying. But it chases when you attack. It doesn't really say anything about that. Ally not needed to jump Damages opponents by stomping on them. So it looks like her movement is specifically that ring when you attack, based on what I can kind of see here. So basically, what it's trying to say is be careful, is what it's trying to say. Okay, interesting. Well, I'm going to say we definitely take that fire-based spark off and swap it out with Electrocannon instead. Just because of it being resistant against fire would probably be a good idea. Just in case, you never know. I think it's probably safer, because then we could do an extra bit of damage if we need to. But honestly, from there, looks like there's a bunch of Stooges, there's a depleter on map, and then, or actually 2 depleters, but everything's pretty close to us for the most part. And obviously the wrestling ring that we have here in the middle. But I think we're perfectly ready to go. So what does Bowser do actually before we do go any further? Overseer. Bowser shines when launching area attacks and spawning minions to do his bidding. Okay, interesting. And he's got the Bowzooka. Fires 1 exploding projectile that deals damage throughout the target area. Ignores partial cover. Ooh, okay, that's pretty good. 20% chance to crit though, too. Rabid Mecha Koopas. Summon 3 Rabid Mecha Koopas to chase down the closest foes and explode on contact. If a foe moves in close, then boom. So these are basically our sentries. Okay, not bad. Definitely not bad. Although, what happens if we dash into you? Curious. Doesn't look like it forces her to move. Okay, well it's good to check just in case. But I say we definitely, probably, are going to want to do this very specifically. But now that Bowser's closer to us, I think now we go for the turbocharge. Because now everyone's going to get an extra bit of 50% extra damage is definitely not a bad thing. But we need to figure out a way to pull her exactly where we need her to go. Because that's definitely what we need to do. Only thing is how do we want to do it? How are we supposed to do it? Because the current moment, well, Bowser's in a range that he could definitely make his way to safety if needed. Only thing is once I do attack her, where are we going to want to move? Because we definitely hit, but I think best thing we could possibly do is probably get over here where these explosive barrels are and start pulling her closer as much as we possibly can. Only thing is looks like we got to do it from a very specific way, and it doesn't look like it can just go for the Goombas from here. So we need somebody a little bit more further range for that one. So I say definitely dash into him, put him to sleep, because I don't need him messing with us at the current moment. We're still out of range with her. But Rabbid Peach, just out of range as well. Okay, well, a lot of our characters are medium range. And Bedrock's slightly out of that range, just by a decent amount. So it's definitely a kind of an iffy situation here. Because it might mean we might need to bring somebody a little closer in order to do the first starting bit here. And if we needed to do that, we definitely need to do it. So, let's see here. We definitely need to get Bedrock over here, though. So let's start doing a little bit of damage there. It doesn't look like too bad of damage either. But here we go. So now we get to figure out how this works. Oh, we can also get rid of the Goombas by doing that too. Okay, not bad. But it looks like she obviously is going to do an area damage before she actually comes this way. So that's good to know, too, because we weren't too sure on that one. But now that she's closer, we can start bringing her just a little bit where we need her to be. I think Bowser can probably do the next hit here. I think. Well, almost. Definitely almost. We'll leave that one then. I'm going to say probably getting Edge over here too would probably be a good idea. But using the obvious little bit of a boost there would probably be the smartest way of doing it. Okay, well, if everyone's in like a good decent range here, I feel pretty good about it. Only thing is we need to figure out our angle that's really like the best for Rabbid Rosalina to be able to pull in Bedrock here. And it looks like just about here is the max that we can get. So I guess we'll have to break through the... Oh wait, we can't even break through that. Okay, well I thought we could, but apparently not. Okay then, well, that's not good. That's definitely not good. Okay, so we need to bring it in from a different range then. Are we just out of range of that? I'm not really sure. I hope we're not on top of that thing, but it definitely looks like it. But that should pull Bedrock a little bit closer to where we need her to be. Although, it's definitely not looking too good based on the current range that she is in. But we can definitely get her basically on top of us here, as long as we do this. Thankfully it didn't hit Rabbid Peach there too, because it definitely looked like it was going to do that. Well, she's on top of it, but yeah, that didn't really do much, did it? Well, what I could do is do one of these, I guess. I guess we could try it. It's worth a shot, right? Let's see. Does this force you to move? Hopefully it does. No, it doesn't. Okay, so we have to actually hit you. Okay, so now I understand that. That was a test, because I wanted to make sure how that worked. And now that we know how this works, I definitely feel like we're good. We'll skip through all that real quick, though. Because now that we understand it, I feel pretty confident about it. Because now we know we definitely need to hit Bedrock to move her. So, we should definitely change teams. Just by a little bit, at least here. I'm going to say we probably swap out Rosalina here for Luigi. Because Luigi's definitely going to be able to make more of a long-range assault happen. Because then we don't have to push too many people close to Bedrock. And then we could safely start pulling her towards those explosive barrels without being in a really bad situation about it. So, probably crits. Probably still going to do the good old Electro Get in there. I think that's what we're going to go with. Because I feel a lot better about that current way of moving Bedrock than I do about what we just tried to do, to be fair. So, not too bad. Definitely an interesting way of, kind of dealing with this enemy, though. Just in general. But it's definitely, what we need to do is definitely pull as much as we can. And that's definitely how this is going to end up working. But I say, probably Luigi from as far as possible would be the best possible movement here. And probably, right here, actually, to be fair, too, could be pretty good. Because then we start moving Bedrock in a way that we're not kind of messing up our only movement here. Because as long as she moves, we're good. For the most part. Because she's kind of moving diagonal now. For the most part. Okay, not bad, not bad. Other than that, Rabbid Peach is definitely good at moving characters. But the thing is we can do it from a further range now, which is good. Not by a lot, but it's still a lot better than where Rabbid Peach was before, to be fair. But as long as she's always moving, I think we're pretty good with it. Okay, not bad. I'm just seeing if we can do this in one turn for the first one. Because then I can understand it a little bit better. But so far so good. We're definitely doing a lot better with this one. And now, honestly, it's just based off of how we move with Edge here. And how we can work with this. Because there's definitely a couple things we can do. But it's definitely based off of how Bedrock wants to move. But I think Bowser definitely can blast through her cover here. So I think that's definitely one thing we should do. So pull her closer. Hopefully she runs the right way. Because it looks like, okay, she's running through it. Well, she's kind of on top of it now. Does that count? I hope it does. I'm definitely going to be honest here. I really hope this counts. Because she's basically on top of that thing now. So as long as she hits that, I hope it counts as doing what we needed to do. Okay, it does. And it technically kind of blasted everybody in a really weird situation there. But thankfully it didn't do any damage to us. Like, it could have done a lot, but thankfully it was not super, super bad. Obviously we could quickly heal that up with Rabbid Peach. And then Edge is probably going to have to vamp dash the rest. But not too bad, for the most part. Not a bad turn. Definitely did not go exactly how I thought that was going to go. But that's definitely how we're going to be doing damage here. Based on what we just saw. But interesting though. So, obviously, we gotta kind of distract her a lot in order to make this really work for us. Doesn't look like it's gonna be an easy time, though, for sure. But thankfully, there is 100% blocks around. So, if we need to block, we have the option to, and it's quite easy to do so. Only thing is at the current moment, based on her current movements, it looks like the only one we can bring her to is the one next to Luigi. So Luigi's definitely going to need to figure out what he wants to do here. But I say we definitely can jump with Edge here, because Edge is already at the end of her movement already, pretty much. Hopefully barely in range of that. Good, good, good. Now we just need to start pushing in, because Luigi might be able to get the next one, if we do this right. So, we can also use the Unseen as well to our benefit as well. So hopefully, as long as we do this right, we can also get over here too, so we can get right into a really good position here with Edge. Only thing is first things first is figuring out how to move Luigi. Because as long as we move Luigi up here, I think she will definitely make her way right into where we need her to be, I think. Could be wrong, but I definitely feel it. Just based on the fact that, well, she'll definitely start walking towards Luigi. Thing is I kind of want to do it from this position over here, because then Luigi's 100% behind cover afterwards. And then, honestly, just try and go for it, because, let's be honest here, I'm definitely not sure how this is going to work. But, as long as she's on top of these things, it seems like it works, for the most part. That's for sure. That's based on what my current analysis with this is. And it looks like Edge might not do it either, but we can still pull enough to be in the current position of where we need it to be. I'm kind of wanting to do something along the lines of this, though, just in case. So let's get, like, right on top of... Nope. I'm just out of range again. But technically I still have the extra jump with this anyways. But what I wanted to do is try and get, like, right on top of the depleter. I might be able to if I do it right. I think we kind of got it right there, maybe. Let's see here. Might be able to get, like, right on top of these enemies if I do it right. Yep, there we go. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Because now we can do the vamp dash. And now we can start... Well, I didn't get rid of the other Goomba, which I thought we would. But apparently not. Odd. Well, I want to do a decent amount to you, just in case. Because you never honestly know. Okay, not bad. Definitely not bad. We start moving you closer now, though, for sure. But now that Luigi and Edge are in a safe zone, as well as the extra HP was brought back to us, it's definitely not bad. But there she goes. Now she's exactly where she needs to be. Okay, not bad. Definitely not bad. Rabbid Peach is probably good right where she is. But I do kind of like the idea of maybe moving everybody a little bit closer to the next zone where we want to go. Also, I'm quite surprised Bowser can team jump off of allies, to be honest. I'll be honest there. He seems like it would not be the funnest thing to be jumped on by, to be perfectly clear about that, but as long as we get to about where we were, it seems like, yeah, we definitely can go up here, which is good. Okay, not bad. Now, obviously, good old Rabbid Peach does exactly what she does best, and glide to safety. There we go. Now I feel really good about our current movement, for the most part. And now we just need to figure out who we want to attack with. I'm going to say we save Bowser's attack, if possible, because I feel like that's probably the best thing we can do, just based on the fact that, well, Bowser has that area of effect to work with, so we definitely have a lot of options with it. And then Bowser, yeah, you definitely need to start moving, buddy. I'm gonna be honest there. And if we can get you, like, about... Actually, like, yeah, right around this next area, we can start preparing to move Bedrock. Because I think she moves closest to whoever's, like, closest to her, to be honest. As long as, you know, she starts her turn. But she's right on top of another one of those explosive barrels, so this should blast her into the sky. And because we're not down there, we're not going to get moved weirdly either. So it's not bad at all. Okay. Another part done. Not bad. Other than that, we could maybe go Bazooka here. We're just out of range, though, for getting attacked. We can set up the Mecha Koopas, though, to be fair. That's still an option. I don't want to set up hero site with good old Luigi, because I think doing that might mess us up. But we could technically set up the Mecha Koopas for the enemies about to spawn, which I don't mind too much, to be honest. So let's spawn those in and also check out Bowser's cutscene, because he's obviously going to have one, like the other characters. But not bad. Now these are spawning in. And they're definitely like sentries, based on the fact that they have those little area of effect bubbles around them. It's pretty cool. I missed the sentries, so that's actually pretty cool to see. Other than that, I think we can easily go for the depleter. So let's get rid of you real quick, just before you start moving, because being rid of him might be safer in the long run. But let's end turn, and let's figure out what Bedrock wants to do now. Okay, she's starting to make her way over where we need her to be, though. So far so good. It's definitely iffy, though, once this next part happens. And they're starting to run right into our little Rabbid Mecha Koopas, those Goombas that spawned out of there. Probably not the smartest thing for them, but ended up working pretty decently there. Just based on the fact that, well, let's be honest here, the Goombas definitely aren't having a fun time over there. And it did get them quite far away from us as well. I think everyone can make it to the jump panel. Yeah, everyone can. Even Luigi, perfect. So we don't need to worry about team jumps yet. So we can easily position ourselves if we need to. And I think everyone can make it to this other jump panel as well. So now it's just a matter of how do we position ourselves to how we can easily deal with good old Bedrock here in the safest way possible. I think that's definitely along the lines of probably positioning ourselves kind of as far back as possible from this zone here, and then slowly but surely pulling her closer. Because I don't think there's many regular shooting enemies nearby. Yeah, just a depleter. So we can easily go for Luigi here for the first hit, and then just hope and pray that, well, we only need a couple hits here to get her there. Because, honestly, I'm quite scared of Bedrock's AoE if we were to be getting hit by that. But it looks like we can definitely do it in 3 turns. As long as we do this right. Or 3 character turns is what I'm meaning to say. not our full turns, obviously. But as long as we position right, we definitely have this. And it might be Bowser that does one of them, but I'm not 100% on that. But I do definitely say we definitely go for as best of a position as we can. Because, I'm gonna be honest, I'm definitely for sure that we're gonna need these jump panels to get closer to the next one. Because it definitely seems like we need to deal with the whole entire map when it comes to these explosive barrels to do just the amount of damage we need to knock her out. But not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. Well, it looks like everyone's current movement is basically on this jump panel right now, so let's just slightly move everybody real quick. Let's see here. We should be able to use edge here, I think. As long as I do it right. I think right about here gives us full coverage of all these blocks. So as long as we move Bedrock here, I think we got her for the most part when it comes to getting onto this next block here that we need her to be on. And hopefully dealt with a decent amount of those Goombas too. Although I feel like, are we going to fall through the floor there? No, I think we're just out of range of falling through the floor. But it definitely does not look good though, I will be honest. It definitely seems like we might get, like, blasted through it if we're not careful. But I think we're good here, just based on the fact that currently it doesn't look like it's too bad of a position. And I think if we were to attack with Rabbid Peach, I think we can safely move behind that next box to prepare our next movement. So I think that's what we should do, just in case. So about like right here, just in case, because we might be just out of range. Nope, we're perfectly in range. Okay, good. Because all we need to do now is obviously do a triple troll and hit Bedrock another time. Not bad, and that should break the next explosive. But definitely, we're doing pretty good on that. Only thing is that last one definitely seems like there's a little bit more blockage so it's not going to be as easy. So I think we definitely move Bedrock at least one spot, if we can. I'm going to see if maybe using Rabbid Peach here may be a good idea for an extra movement. Only thing is I'm not really sure about my movement yet. But maybe, just maybe, we can work with this. Could have went to that jump panel, to be fair. But, yeah, it does not look like, so far, nothing we can really go for. But at least Bowser's over there, I think, to be completely fair. So I feel pretty good about that. Let's end turn. And let's figure out what Bedrock does now. Okay, Bedrock is running where we need her to be. Okay, perfect. I was a little worried there for a second that she wasn't going to go where we needed her to be. But we got the depleters. Probably Goombas? Nope, those are regular Stooges. So I'm guessing the other purple portal is more than likely going to spawn. Oh wait, there's a couple more actually. I didn't realize there was a lot more. Bowser's got a decent amount of HP though, so he'll be fine. It's just more of the idea of the amount of enemies spawning out of those portals. But it seems like two Stooges out of that specific set of the purple portals. Definitely, so far, this fight seems pretty simple as long as you're doing it right. As long as you kind of have an idea of how the AoE works. For how, just in general, how her jumps work and everything. But if you don't understand her jumps, this definitely could be quite a little bit of a hard fight for sure. I could definitely see it. But thankfully they give you enough jump panels to kind of reposition yourself if you are on the opposite side of the map. But I'm going to definitely say, get Luigi quite a decent distance away, I think. Like here-ish would be pretty good, but first things first is figuring out position for everybody, I think. Maybe. Just a little bit, just in case if people need the extra movement. But I think definitely getting Edge over here first. Yikes. That was a very interesting glide right there. I almost fell right into that. But not bad. There we go. Okay. Now we got people in a decent position. Now it's more about repositioning Bedrock here. And I feel like this is probably the best way. So let's see what she wants to do with that. Because she's definitely going to smash her own allies with that. But not enough to be where we want her to be. Okay. Well, we can definitely work with this. I think we definitely move Edge about here-ish, I think. I think that's probably good. Be just out of her range, though. Yeah, I'm not too sure on that one. Let me do it from, like, here, and then I'll turn invisible, I think. I think that's probably a good idea. Just in case, you never know. I'm a little worried about that current throw. I think making sure we're diagonal is probably safer, because then she will more than likely run diagonal, is what I'm trying to say. But not bad. She's almost where she needs to be, or her foot's right on top of it and I can't tell. It looks like she's just barely off of it, though. So we're getting closer. We're definitely getting closer to solving this puzzle here. Although I'm not sure if this is going to do enough damage, to be honest. Just based on the fact that, well, she seems to still have a decent amount of HP left, to be fair. But let's get over here-ish, just so we're safely out of her range at the current moment. Just because I am a little worried where she's going to run here in a second. But I feel like she's right on top of it already. Yep, she is. And just like that, down goes her fourth panel. And maybe down with Bedrock as well. Yep, down goes Bedrock. And we also get a Bowser exit too. Good old outro for Bowser. That's pretty cool though. And that makes me feel like Bowser's actually going to be part of our team. Based on him actually having like an animation like that. They wouldn't go through all the hard work to give him an animation like that. If they're not going to let us use them. But level 20, there it is. Not bad. We didn't get to use the glitter though. Which probably should have checked the range on that. It probably would have came in handy. But not bad. Definitely a pretty interesting boss fight, honestly. Just based on the fact that, you know, it was all about positioning the boss in the position where you needed them to be. And using their own strength against them. That was actually pretty interesting. I'll definitely have to admit that one for sure. And just like that, down goes Bedrock, but it definitely seems like another spark counter ended up saving her in the end there. But down goes Bedrock, what seems to be the final spark hunter, which seems to be definitely plant-based, based off the fact that that vine definitely gives off plant-based vibes, that's for sure. But, well, Bedrock escaped. Midnight escaped as well, based on, you know, her original fight too, although no one came to save her though, unlike Bedrock, which is interesting. But, here we go, good old Bowser seems to be pretty angry about the situation, but maybe he might join us, that'd be pretty cool.
Well, Whips, thank you. Would be nice. Didn't save your lives just now.
True, that is very true. Never mind all that. What are you doing here, Bowser? Yeah, what are you doing here, buddy?
Looking for Cursa, same as you. Corrupted my army of weak-minded imbeciles, and I want them back.
Well, yeah, true. Those Goombas and Bomb-Bombs that we've been facing off against, as well as the Thwomps, technically. Although the Thwomps are kind of strapped to the back of the Squashettes and the Squashers, to be fair. But, yeah, for the most part, yeah, his army's been pretty much taken over by Cursa.
BeepO, by allowing Bowser to join us, our mission success rate increases by 11.34756%.
That sounds good to me. That's up from...
The estimated probability given to the pigs, sprouting wings and flying.
Oh, that sounds about right. No wonder you're trying to trick me into leading your little wisp brigade.
Gotta love Bowser. Absolutely not. I don't care what the odds are, right, Mario? Mario set aside his differences before BeepO. I'm gonna be honest there. Mario definitely has set aside his differences. There's a bunch of games where Bowser and Mario team up. Although, a lot of the times unwillingly by Bowser, but for the most part, a lot of times willingly too.
Whoa! Don't worry. Promise not to pound you in the bits after I pummel Cursa. Rule the galaxy again.
Well, welcome to the team, Bowser. You're definitely gonna join us, that's for sure.
We now have enough purified darkness energy to create a new warp tunnel to Terraflora.
Terraflora, you say? And if I am right on it being based off the seasons, this one should be based off of spring. But, thing is that really going to be the case? Based on the purple flower, it makes me think so. But, maybe I'm wrong.
We should, however, make time to reconvene with Woodrow. Even with Pallant Prime, Darkness Tentacles gone, he is in dire need of our help.
True, and fair. And also, we always make sure to complete our worlds before we go to the next world. But there it is, the Fallen King, as well as both of our Darkness Energy Crystals now complete. As well as a bunch of new missions, more than likely, based on the fact that it seemed like a bunch of them opened up after dealing with the forest as well. But we did get ourselves another crystal, as well as Bowser now has 21, based off the fact that he hasn't got to spend any of his yet. But let's see what he could do. Damage landing boost. Oh, really? What's this? Damage landing. Upon his first landing during a turn, Bowser generates an area damage. Ooh, hello. Okay then. So like Mario Stomp, but it's literally a slam into the floor. Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. It looks like we can increase the damage as well as the area of it. That's not too bad. Oop, I wanted to keep on Bowser. Demolisher. Bowser's bazooka shatters destructible covers with one shot. Okay, then. Interesting. So from 1 damage to covers to 11 damage to covers. Okay, then. Damage drop-off. Really? There's a damage drop-off? Drop-off within the range of the rate... Okay, interesting. So if you're smack dab in the circle, you take full damage. But if you're kind of off of it, you take a little bit less damage. Okay, interesting. And then what's this thing? Critical hit damage. Probably a good thing. Yeah, I'll definitely say that one. 200% damage is pretty strong. I will say that. And then Rabbid Mecha Koopas we can increase as well. And then whatever his sparks are. I feel like all the spark trees are probably the same based off of edges, but the thing is we haven't seen it yet, so we don't know for sure. But interesting, though. Very, very interesting, in fact. Just based off of everything we could see. I definitely say we get this damage landing. There's no reason not to. And then glide is definitely going to be important if we are indeed doing that. Okay. Well, area range sounds pretty good, to be fair. I do like the idea of dropping off the weapon drop-off for our damage as well. That's probably something we should get for sure, just in case, to make sure we do the full damage that we need. I'm going to say probably weapon range. I like the idea of being able to shoot the bazooka from a lot further away, making it more of a long-range weapon than a medium-sized one that it was during that fight. So far, we've spent already a good chunk of ours with everything so far. Probably breaking cover would be pretty cool, but I like the idea of having more of these Mecha Koopas. Do we increase the damage? Oh, we can increase the damage. Okay. Cooldown as well as fire Rabbid Koopas. Burn effects on them. Interesting. There's a bunch of good, ideas here, for sure. Although I kind of like the idea of, squashing the enemies as well. But I think maybe these Rabbid Mecha Koopas could be pretty cool. Let's try and get, a decent amount into them, so we can, do a little bit with them. Because I feel like those could be pretty cool, for the most part. Then I think maybe what we could do is maybe, 2 points into that. And then it seems like we might be able to put 1 point into that, actually, which is pretty cool. And then, obviously, we need a little bit of glide to make sure that, well, he can glide to where he needs to be fair. But that's not too bad, I think. Obviously, we didn't get any HP yet, but, well, he'll get some HP soon. Let's be honest here. He'll be fine soon. But not bad. Not bad at all. I definitely like that. Although, I'm not really sure on that one. I do think maybe putting the crit chance on him might be pretty good. But we'll run with this team for a second. Just because, well, let's be honest here, it's definitely pretty good. And then actually, before we actually do that, it probably would be safer to go... Obviously, Regenesis would be good on Bowser. But I feel like making sure Turbo Charge is on him would be good. Then making sure that Rabbid Rosalina has exactly what she had before would be smart. Because then I'm not completely mixed up on what I was before. There we go, not bad. But interesting though, that was a very, very, very interesting fight. And also got a Megabug Bowser Bazooka, which actually would be really good on him, to be fair. But we did get this Paletville thing, as well as, well, actually I had this beforehand, but I didn't get to read it earlier. But we also got one for Bedrock as well, so read these out real quick. Paletville is the cultural and economic heart of the planet, as residents are quick to remind everyone else. It is also a petri dish of gossip, petty jealousies, and schemes. Still, the village market more than upholds its reputation for artisan desserts and pumpkin-spiced beverages. Is it prosperity that breeds the self-serving behavior here, or fame, perhaps? And if so, is it inevitable? Good question. And then we also have Bedrock here, so we'll definitely look at her. Bedrock. Another Spark Hunter crossed our paths. Bedrock. Cursa has merged Rabbid DNA with an inanimate object, in this case, a coarse granite rock. Massive, hard, and tough, Bedrock is simply strong, impossibly strong, an unstoppable force let loose upon the sparks. Our sole advantages are that she is dense as the granite she sprang from, as well as our alliance with Bowser, whom Bedrock respects as her equal in combat. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. Based on how she threw him, I wasn't too sure on that one, but Apparently so. She got some evil eyes when she threw him, to be honest. But, yeah, definitely Granite seems pretty crazy for the most part, just in general. But I think what we need to do is, what I want to do, actually, is make my way over to this secret zone over here. Because we have the ability to go and collect our secret zone spark at the moment. So, you know what? We'll end off today's episode doing that, honestly. Because we did do quite a lot, but we didn't do any, you know, missions yet when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, more than likely should do it. But let's definitely talk to you real quick, buddy, because we need to go buy that. But Spellbound Key, we'll definitely be grabbing that. And we'll save the rest of those for later. But let's definitely take that over to where we need it to be. Although I think we need to go through the Spellbound Woods in order to get there, based on the positioning of where it is. Just because I haven't opened up that whole area yet. Because, let's be honest here, we're blocked from going closer. So, we have to go through here anyways. But, definitely interesting though. Based off of, like, everything we've seen, a lot of the Spark Hunters are definitely pretty crazy when it comes to their battle styles and battlefields entirely. Like, we had, just in general, for Midnight, and her, like, teleporting, as well as, like, she had a bunch of areas where she could probably block herself as long as she, like, teleported in the right way. But, for the most part, we were able to easily get to her because of Edge. And also, I completely forgot to teleport over here. Surprised I didn't grab this one, but Gourd Lake. Can we look at this Rabbid yet? Nope. It looks like that Rabbid's completely unaffected by our wanting to look at it. But let's definitely take a look at good old secret zone in this area. So, Palette Prime Secret Zone. One Spellbound Key required. So, let's make our way right on inside. Because let's be honest here, we're definitely ready. Also, it kind of reminds me of Rabbid Kong. But I don't think that's what that's supposed to look like. Just because the eyes of the mouth and the kind of autumn leaves kind of make it look like it's a furry creature. Like Rabbid Kong was. But, into our next zone. And this one's a battle area. Interesting. Well, technically a battle area. It's obviously more of like, you know, kind of like a hide and like run around area. But what kind of spark is that? That's different. That's a completely different spark than I've seen before. Huh. Okay then. Well, looks like we need to get blue, or, well, not blue, but orange circle there. What are we dropping on? It looks like we're dropping down here. Okay. Interesting. Well, it seems like we're probably, yep, we're definitely going to need to scan. It looks like we should have scanned before we dropped, actually, based on the positioning there. But we did open up this area over here. There's our orange donut-looking thing that we need to drop into that. But let's take a look around with our scan real quick to make sure all current positions. It looks like there's something that seems to be maybe a ladder right there. But other than that, it looks like we definitely sneak by you for a second, and then wait for you to walk away. Because for the most part, that's how you usually do these. Ooh, hello, buddy. Well, it looks like we're definitely dealing with you then. Ooh, Bowser goes in a shell. That's a cool, nice little attention to detail. That's a pretty cool dash for Bowser. But, yeah, it looks like we're going to have to deal with Mr. Wildclaw. Tried to go around him, but he noticed me somehow. Usually they don't hear your footsteps when you walk behind enemies, but for some reason that one did. Not sure how, to be honest. But defeat all, and it's just a Wildclaw. That's not too hard. Well, we can easily go for our new area jump, so let's definitely go for that. Just because there's no reason not to. But he's definitely got some decent HP, so we need to do this right. Although I think we definitely have options, for sure. But I'm going to say we definitely put you asleep from this range over here, make sure you're asleep, and then we'll wake you up with the good old blast from the Kaboomer, with a good 100% crit chance, which is definitely pretty good. But, yeah, we definitely do that, I think. Just in case. You never know. And honestly, because you're right on top of me, and you are scared of fire, we could technically spawn this right on top of you. So, you know what? Bowser, go ahead. I'm giving you full permission on that one. Oh, I thought it would show up the new ones. But let's just blast him a couple times with this. No reason not to. But those fire... Actually, no, he's resistant to it. I swear these guys were... Oh, no, it's water, wasn't it? And that actually didn't push him closer to us. I'm quite surprised about that one, to be honest. But let's just give him a nice Bazooka and get this Wild Claw on out of here. I think it's fair that we did that to him, to be honest. It was worth a shot, and also I learned that it doesn't deal damage to me, which is actually very nice to know, because I thought that would actually hurt me by doing that, but it doesn't. So, good to know. Very, very good to know. But let's definitely open up our ladder here real quick. And it looks like that's pretty much all that's over here. We did scope out all the areas of where we needed to jump up from, though. So that's good to know. Although, now we need to figure out a way to grab that circle and make our way down. And it looks, for the most part, the best way of doing this is probably going down here, because we also need to figure out the fastest way to deal with this map as well, because that's actually how you get the second bonus for the secret zones. And that's where you'll find your also 1% of whatever you haven't finished yet. So it's definitely good to make sure of what is going on when it comes to positioning and everything. But we made a way to get back up to here. But it also made a path to make it over there as well. Okay. Interesting. Although I'm not really sure why it opened a pathway to that side. Although maybe it's faster to go from that side, maybe? I'm trying to figure out what you would do to speedrun this, because they give you like 90 seconds in the previous secret zone to make your way all the way to where you need to be. Only thing is positioning for everything. Because once you start, you have to make it all the way over there. And it's easier said than done, for sure. And there's quite a big range of things that you have to do in this one, it looks like. Based on how this one's kind of working out at the moment. Looks like we need to make something spawn. Based on the fact that it looks like we're dropping something. Okay, not bad. It seems easy. We'll obviously drop that down there. Anything else that we need? Based on here, it looks like there's something that looks to be a ladder over there. Okay. Well, it definitely means that we need to make our way... Well, Mr. Wildclaw's chasing me. I need to make sure he's not chasing me anymore. Because he'll chase me as far as he wants to go, honestly. So, making sure he's not following me is probably the smartest thing. Just in case, you never know. Okay, it looks like you might have to deal with this one. Based on positioning of him. But, for the most part, it looks like you could technically... Yeah, you can sneak around him. Very lightly, but... Definitely seems like you'll lose a little bit of time in dealing with this one, I think. This is definitely going to be a harder one to do, for sure, based on this one being a little bit bigger than the other world ones. Because it's a lot more puzzles attached to this one in positioning that could catch you completely off guard if you don't do it right, to be fair. Also, these little gates sometimes can freak out a little bit. I will definitely be honest there, but here we go. Yay, you came. Yay, I was so bored. Well, hello, buddy. Wildclaw Master. Wildclaw Master? I'm glad you found me. I can't wait to smell the aroma of spiced maple pumpkin pie with waffle crust again. Well, welcome to the team, buddy. But that's an interesting spark, though. So, Wildclaw Master. I've never seen anything like that, so that's completely new than anything we've seen before. Although, what exactly does it do? Because it makes me think that it gives us the Wildclaw ability, maybe? But, that's interesting. Huh. Okay then, so what do you do, buddy? Let's see here. Wildclaw Master spawns a Wildclaw ally with 150 HP. Its claw attack deals a 790 damage. Incoming physical damage is reduced by 15%. So technically we can have 4 allies, in a way. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, although it's a cooldown of 4 turns at the moment. But that doesn't seem too bad, because it increases its own damage as well as gives us the ability to block damage a little bit better too. Huh, while also spawning a new ally. That's interesting. And before I do end off today's episode, I want to show you guys what I meant about there being an extra challenge to these. Because it doesn't specifically state it, but now you can see there's a golden chest there, which would give us a blueprint for a skin, if we were to do this as fast as possible. And most of the time, if you don't have 100%, that's probably why. And we'll see the time for this one, just because I'm curious. That's not too bad, 3 minutes to do that, that's actually not bad. But I just wanted to show it to you guys, just so you guys know what I was talking about when I was talking about there being an extra zone inside the secret zones earlier, because I didn't exactly get to show you guys before, I just said that I did it. But now you guys know about it, and honestly, you know, quite interesting, like everything to do with everything is very interesting to do with that. But with that being said, thank you all for watching, have a wonderful rest of your day, keep being spooky, and in the next episode we will begin our exploration of finishing up everything to do with Palette Prime. Obviously, more than likely, we're not going to complete everything in tomorrow's episode, but we are going to at least make a good effort to make sure that we deal with a good chunk of it. Because let's be honest there's quite a bit left, just based off of everything that we can see. Because we have, obviously, the mission that was already inside here for the Pond Scum. We also have this one that we can't do yet. We need to go back to good old Pristine Peaks to do the Tiny Dancer, because we should have enough sparks now for this. As well as the fact of everything else that just opened up, as well as what seems to be, the gateway over here for Madame Guastrella. So we have definitely quite a little bit left to do. But, honestly, with that being said, thank you all for watching, have a wonderful rest day, keep being spooky, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.